I don't know if Sandoval wants to come out.
I don't think Sandoval wants to talk. Let's fight. Well, they're looking for the mouthpiece. They're going to rinse it off. You know, when you go out for the instructions, you don't need your mouthpiece.
As I told you
usually
earlier,
you're not going to get hit.
We would bring you up to date on Scotty Olsen. His hand is broken. His right hand is broken. When it happened, I don't know. Conceivably, the shot that put Roman down in the 3rd round, it might have been in the 6th round. At any rate, from that point on, Olsen was a one-handed fighter. I still thought he won the fight, but my opinion is just my opinion. All right, Maromero. What a flashy set of trunks he's almost got on.
Yeah, those trunks are great, too, because sometimes they reflect the light, the television lights, and it goes up in your opponent's eyes. You blind him momentarily. Then you can sock him.
Sandoval, taller at 5'9". He's got a 3-inch advantage there. They're both within the lightweight limits, although Sandoval is about 3 pounds lighter, or was at the weigh-in. Maromero Paez has fought for the title. Little bolo punch there just to get the crowd excited.
Yeah, and the clowning antics of him are terrific. He uses those, and he works the crowd to help get that crowd to help him win these fights.
It's interesting
charisma.
that Paez is on this card tonight for several standpoints. Number one, of course, the Forum would like to see him do well. They'd like to match him for another title shot. Bear in mind also that he is the one common denominator between the 2 lightweights that will be fighting for the title, Pendleton and Rualas. Pendleton knocked Paez down twice en route to a 10-round decision. Rualas knocked him down twice and knocked him out with a 10th round KO.
Bloodied his nose, bloodied his mouth, cut him over the right eye.
Now, those who favor Paez say that he was not in shape, but had to lose too many pounds coming into the Ruelas fight. It might have taken Ruelas a bit lightly, although I don't know how you take a guy that has got 37 at the time victories lightly, but nonetheless he may have. Be that as it may, he was knocked down twice and knocked out by Ruelas. Pretty busy 1st round for Sandoval. What did Fernando Paramo say? The name carved into the haircut of Paez is one of the candidates for the office of President of Mexico in the next election. Marty Denkin checking. The 2 guys had a little head-banging session there.
Sometimes Maromero is dressed like a headbanger.
He's amazing.
Yeah, he is amazing. How do you dream up these different costumes every time?
Well, he's a bright, innovative guy.
Yeah.
I tell you, he spends a lot of money on those costumes as well. And there, good left hand sends Sandoval into the ropes and trying to hang on.
No, none of those annex, says Denkin.
And I think he'll put up with that. Sandoval, I mean, hand by Sandoval. Paez, he hurt, was he faking? He was on his toes, bouncing around as though he'd been nailed, but I don't think so.
Well, if Sandoval is smart, he will use more of those. You know, Paez has these traditional fighters figured out. Those good fighters with a good amateur background, they come in and they throw the straight punches, and they're basic boxers, the 1, 2, 3. But the fighters that are wild, like Sandoval was right there with that right hand that comes from the outside, you don't know where it's coming from.
There's the bell, the end of round number 1. Let's go back into the locker room of Scotty Olsen. Fernando Paramo is there. Bring us up to date on the broken hand.
Scotty, tell us about the hand. What happened?
I hurt real bad. I dropped him, and I think it was either the shot before I dropped him or the round after that I broke it. I couldn't even close my hand, and I hit him with it a couple rounds later. Oh, it was so sore.
Tell us about the decision. Do you believe it was fair?
No, I don't. What happened to Scotty Olsen maybe being like Julio Cesar Chavez? I thought I should have at least had a draw on that one. I fought real hard. I thought I boxed real nice with one hand, as best as a puncher can box with one hand.
What round did you break the hand? Is that in the 3rd?
I think I broke it about the 3rd, 4th. I am not sure.
Thank you very much, Scotty.
All right.
Thank you very much. Back to you.
Well, such are the fruits of his labor tonight. A broken hand and a split decision loss to Jorge Luis Ramon, and perhaps a title fight now thrown into the closet for a while, huh?
A split hand and a split decision. Ouch. I don't know which one hurts more.
Yep. He was not without, well, he certainly wouldn't fool anybody on what's my line. Scotty Olson, he showed the effects of a grueling 10-round go with Roman. That right eye was just about slammed shut. And of course, Ramon has a cut down the outside of his left eye that bled rather profusely in the closing rounds. And he was knocked down in the 3rd round. So maybe Olson's looking at Olson, and all things considered, maybe a draw was what he deserved. Certainly not lost.
You take a beating inside those ropes. Not only where you get hit, but also up and down your body. When you get hit in the body, your ribs the next day are sore. It hurts to take a deep breath. Your face hurts. That eye is going to be swelled up from Scotty. His hand's going to hurt. He'll wake up tomorrow and go, oh, what did I do? Then the next day it'll be worse, and then it'll get better. Good left hook, blocked. Sandoval. Sandoval's tall, lanky. He could be a cutie, but he loves to stay on the inside and slug it out.
Paez chops at him with that right hand, has taken a couple of uppercuts. If you go back over the voting, the judges' cards, 2 judges had it 95-94 Roman, and the other judge had it 97-92 in favor of Olson. Remember, Olson had a 10-8 round, and we, quite frankly, thought that Olson won about 6, maybe even 7 of the 10 rounds.
Oh, yeah.
One of them being a 2-point round, and the judges didn't see it that way.
I had a 97-93 scored for Scotty. My score don't count, as you said earlier.
No, mine doesn't either. My opinion sometimes is.
I was going to say, no.
Busy right hand for Paez. That uppercut. Sandoval is not quiet out there either. He's throwing a lot of punches.
Pretty good punches this round from Sandoval. Sandoval came into this ring bone dry. Andres did not have that glow, that sweat on him. When you come into a ring like that, you're cold, and it usually takes you a few rounds to get going. If you get your fighter good and warmed up in the back, he'll start faster.
You got to do a little shadow boxing in the ring.
That's right. That is so
break
true.
of sweat, breaking it in about the middle of the 3rd round is,
that's right.
if you're still on your feet.
Really dangerous to do. Most fighters break theirs on the stretcher going back.
Paez.
That's what we need from Paez.
Banging away.
Yeah, he's allowing for Sandoval to get off too many shots.
I'll tell you, Paez takes a good shot, though. Pendleton hit him a couple of pretty good raps and dropped him. Bounced right back up. Jenkins steps between them as the round comes to a close, and a good round. And now if you look into Paez's corner, you'll see that Chuck Bodak, perhaps the best cut man in the business, is wearing the clown's nose, if he leans in, that Jorge had when he came into the ring.
Here's a look at it. Good action. I think this is the overhand right. Kaboom, it is. Right on the eyebrow. The eyes have it. Sandoval comes back, but a little bit of holding behind the head from Paez, but he scores.
I think he just raised the glove up enough when he threw the punch that he wasn't going to get called on it. Paez is very stoic-faced in the corner, but the only excitement he shows visually is when one of the pretty ring girls walks by. Then Paez, eyes light up. Pretty serious about this effort here tonight. He looks to be very fit and good shape. Weighed in at 136, or announced as 136. I think we've brought you up to date and chronicled the fact that he's only 5'6", and fighting at 135 pounds is not that easy for a guy that tall. I mean, take Genaro Hernandez at 130 is 5'11", maybe the tallest junior lightweight in the history of the game.
Yeah, very tall. Most of the lightweights and junior lightweights, they're about 5'7", 5'8", somewhere around there. To be 5'9" in the lightweight division is considered a tall lightweight.
Well, Sandoval is that. He is 5'9", weighs 132 and a half. He's in the red trunks, and of course Maromero in the colorful garb.
Yeah, and this is, we're talking about the size of these two fighters. This is how the breakdown of a fighter can lead to your advantage. Jorge Paez has a 72-inch reach. As a lightweight or a junior lightweight or a featherweight where he won his title, that is an extremely long reach. He can use that on the inside and on the outside. And he's not using it now. Sandoval, by comparison, has a 70-inch reach. He is the taller of the two.
Left hand by Paez appeared to be somewhere near his hometown of Mexicali. A little bit low. Sandoval certainly is not overawed by Maromero Paez.
No, and he's getting to work. Paez wants to keep the pressure on, wants to make him work, not get caught with anything, let him throw his stuff. It's still early in this fight. Paez is the veteran.
Still to come, of course, on this magnificent card. A war by the shore is Freddie Pendleton in his second title defense of the IBF lightweight crown that he holds. Rafael Ruelas will be trying to knock it off his head. And of course, later, the bout between Michael Carbajal, the IBF and WBC light flyweight champion, against the man who once was and wants to be again, Humberto Gonzalez.
His favorite punch is the overhand right, and Paez throws that nicely. He has clocked Sandoval a number of times with it, and he puts his body into it well. This is where the aerobic exercises that he did as a acrobat helped him. He learned to throw the upper body with it. There it is again. That's the punch that's eventually going to knock out Sandoval.
Paez seemed to like what he had done. He goes back to his corner with a bit of a smile, and look what I just did. Coming up, Pendleton and Ruelas. And let's take a little look at Pendleton, the champion. Fernando Paramo is with him. Fernando, if you will.
Thank you, Tom. Since this fight was signed, you have shown no respect at all for Ruelas. Do you feel it enough?
I have none. No respect. Why should I have respect? I'm the champion. He respect me. Now, if he ever, in a million years, which will never happen, win a world title, hey, then I'll respect him. But I'll be in another division that has another champion.
You said that no Mexican fighter will beat you.
Well, I ain't really mean Mexican. I mean, they jumped on me about the Mexican fighters at that point in time, but there's no fighter in the world that can beat me at my weight limit. None of them. I don't give none of them a chance to beat me.
Thank you very much. Back to you, Tom.
All right, the outspoken, brash, maybe even cocky. Sugar Ray Leonard in attendance at ringside. The brash, maybe even overly cocky, Freddie Pendleton. Fearless Freddie, he's called. There's a man who made all the great news, of course, in basketball. He became the greatest guard to ever play the game at 6'8", Irvin Magic Johnson. It'll be interesting, that Pendleton-Ruelas fight. Ruelas is very soft-spoken. He would never say the things that Pendleton does. But I tell you, Fearless Freddie doesn't take a backseat to anybody. He comes to fight. And, you know, how can you confuse a guy that has a record, maybe 18, 19 losses? I mean, he spent a lot of years toiling in almost anonymity and defeat. And now he's the champ.
He's had 18 losses, and in those 18 losses, he was frustrated many times. He wanted to quit, but he couldn't quit. He fell in love with the sport of boxing, and finally, he said one day, he told his family when he was young and trying to get started in the boxing business, trying to help support them too, he told them, one day I will be champion. And he
Paez is just a second away from holding and whacking.
But you know, it's something else too. He told me, Pendleton said, I'm trying to get Ruelas out of his game. I want him to rush me tonight. I want him to come at me where I can step back or sidestep and then nail him.
Well, when they get in the ring, you're going to see that they are approximately the same size. When he beat Paez, he was obviously a few inches taller than Paez, who's only 5'6". And Ruelas, when he fought Paez, came right across the ring in the first round. He had barely gotten off the stool when Ruelas knocked Paez right on the back of his lap. And the look of sheer surprise on the face of Maromero was unbelievable. Then, of course, he was knocked down later in the 10th round KO when he failed to come out. Ruelas really gave him a beating.
And that is the surprise that you have when you go down. You think, what am I doing down here? The first thing that you know is you're down. You don't feel the punch. Good combination from Paez, but Sandoval comes back.
Punches, Sean, they're just slap shots.
But Sandoval is trying. You know, you got to give him credit because he is trying. He's getting hit. He doesn't have the best chin in the world, a lot of people say, but he is trying to throw punches.
Paez is very good with that uppercut, either hand, left or right.
Very good, loose, fluid.
And, you know, he gives you the impression, and I'm sure it's evident to Sandoval, overhand.
Well, he gave Sandoval an impression with that right.
Yeah, that just keep standing there because I'm going to walk right over and just belt you one and you're going to hurt.
Right, and again, remember me talking at first about it appearing that Paez not at all concerned about fighting Sandoval coming into this ring. Now he's fighting him on the inside, not at all concerned about the punches of Sandoval. Paez is outstanding at pulling away to take the power out of your punches. He just pulls away just enough to take the power out of it. Oops, low blow, Paez knows it.
Well, taking a point away from Paez. Taking a point away.
Yeah. And this crowd does not like that. Now, underneath their trunks, these men are wearing foul-proof protectors, which will protect you where you get hit. However, occasionally when they get full of sweat and they get old, they don't fit and they slide around, and that can smart.
All things considered, I think that's the toughest place to try to hurt a fighter as compared with the rest of the anatomy that's available to get hit. I mean, hit him right in his nose and break his nose. It's got to hurt and smart and be a lot bloodier than a shot that's protector. That's the end of round number 4.
I don't know. I think I'd rather be hitting the nose.
You'd rather be hitting the nose, would you? I don't know about that.
I've been hit a lot.
Póngase muy vivo. Póngase, camine, suelte la mano, alegre, fuerte. Derecha. Acuérdate, vamos derecha y upper largo. Vas a agarrar con los upper y derecha, muy bonito. Pero tú estás dejando ir con un solo golpe.
The corner of Paez, Hector Gill, Alex Shearer, Oscar Garcia. Good work from Maromero. Very elusive. See, Maromero is all over the place too. The hands are down. He has no protection, but he has such fluid movement. He makes it look easy. He makes the sport look easy, and goes about it the right way. He doesn't get uptight. He doesn't let the people that push him around.
Sandy Koufax made pitching look easy.
Yep.
Ted Williams made hitting look easy. And Mickey Mantle made the game look easy. People with great skills do that. Referee took a point away. No, I just think Marty Denkin might be overly cautious about Paez because his antics in the ring from time to time have, well, they please the crowd, and his fans are legion. He may have a kind of a demeaning attitude toward the other fighter. Paez gets shoved to the canvas.
Takedown, World Wrestling Federation.
Sandoval shoves him down.
Yeah, but Paez also biding his time. You know, he knows he can count for the knockdown. Take your time, get a little breath.
Well, Paez's style in the ring leads to kind of a roughhouse type of fight.
A lot of ring generalship from him. But he should have 50 wins, 6 losses, 4 draws, 34 KOs. Former champion of the world, a lot of experience. But he's been like this for a long time. He doesn't get uptight. He doesn't get worried about fights. He doesn't sometimes come into a fight with a fight plan. And he has fun out there. Look at him. He is having fun. He loves what he's doing. He loves being in front of the crowd. He loves showboating.
Well, he's a real professional fighter. There's no question about that.
Yeah, and he's good. He backs it up, too. That's the thing about him. He can really fight.
Defensively, he's better than people suspect.
Well, you can't hit him with a handful of salt.
No.
Great movement. Very elusive.
Waving that right hand at Sandoval and then pops him with the left. Well, you know.
Great balance.
The old magician's trick.
Yeah.
Changing your focus.
And having fun.
Catches Sandoval in the corner and drops a right hand on him.
Wasn't fun to Sandoval. That was a good left hook from Sandoval. Sandoval's had his moments. He's still losing. I've got him losing every round, but he's still trying. Still throwing the punches, hanging in there.
Sandoval showing a lot of nose.
Yeah, but look at these punches from Sandoval. He gets no extension on his shots whatsoever. Every punch from him is a hook. 90% of the power of the punch is right on the end. That final snap, when you lock your elbow, when you twist your wrist, when you clench your fist, when you put your hip into the shot, when you put your shoulder into the shot, when you bend your knee and push with that toe, that's where the power comes in the fight and in the punch. He doesn't have that.
We're coming to the close of round number 4. It's scheduled for 10. A slow-paced sort of a get-together with Paez and Andres Sandoval. Now then, coming up, of course, Freddie Pendleton defends his IBF lightweight title against Rafael Ruelas, and there may be a bit of a controversy brewing backstage, so to speak. Our man Fernando Paramo is there. What is it, Fernando?
Well, there was a lot of yelling and screaming between Joe Goodson, one of the managers for Rafael Ruelas, and people with the commission. Tell us about it, Joe.
No, that's the way I talk normally, Fernando.
No, I don't think you talk normally. Apparently there was some problems with the measurement of the tape or the way they was set up.
No, it was just I put a piece of tape on and they wanted me to take it off, and I said put it over my tape that I already put on, and there seemed to be a big deal about tape on the glove. I've never seen anybody win or lose a fight because of tape, but anyway, we compromised. They got theirs on and I got mine on.
And thank you very much. Rafael's been a long time, you get it.
Oh, yeah, it's been a long time. I'm ready for this, it's been 5 years.
Back to you, Tom.
Thank you, Fernando. And while we were settling the issue of the glove and the tape, we have a broken nose for Andres Sandoval, and he is not going to come out for the 5th round, and so Jorge El Maromero Paez has recorded another victory, and it will be his 34th KO in a brilliant career. And he won't be out. Sandoval won't for the 5th round, suffering a broken nose. He was bleeding from the nose, as I told you, but it didn't seem to be that heavy a flow, which generally you get with a broken nose, Sean.
Well, backflipping is Maromero Paez. Yes, when your nose is bleeding, it is broke, and all that's in your nose is cartilage. So what actually happens is you break the cartilage. You don't really break a bone. Maromero Paez, nice, loose. Look at him. He's still having fun. Loves being on this stage called the ring. Uh-oh. Fighting with somebody or slapping.
No, he just took a playful poke at a cameraman who's here all the time.
Yep.
And he tossed one of his gloves into the crowd to one of his fans, and I think his cornermen are a little upset because and now the doctor is telling him don't do that. Look at Chuck Bodak there with the red nose. Chuck is a story in himself. All right, Michael Buffer has the official call. Michael?
Ladies and gentlemen, physician at ringside, Dr. Robert Carnes, has found out that the fighter fighting out of the red corner, Andres Sandoval, has suffered a broken nose and other lacerations. The bout has to be stopped. Referee Marty Denkin calls a halt at the end of 5 rounds. The winner by TKO, victory number 51 for the former featherweight champion of the world, Jorge Maromero Paez.
Into the books is a 4th round KO as Sandoval cannot come out to answer the bell for round number 5 due to a broken nose. And the Clown Prince of Boxing celebrates still another victory. It might not have been as memorable an occasion as some of his other fights, but he was impressive nonetheless, and I'm sure Sandoval will tell you that he was impressed.
Showing some of his acrobatic talents.
Yeah, he's a clown, you know. He worked in the family circus and still may from time to time. And he could very easily be doing it when his